MegaPodTastic.
Good morning, MegaPodlings. It's Krazy Joe. I have a great love of movie posters, and we have several movie posters hanging in our home, so I thought I would give you a little bit of a tour of some of the movie posters we have hanging, and I thought I'd start here. This is a movie poster hanging in our living room for the movie The Secret of the Sword, the He-Man She-Ra movie, and this one was actually done by a friend of ours, artist Tom Whalen. He did this, and he was kind enough to give me one of these because he knows of my wife's love of He-Man and She-Ra. So this actually hangs like right over our fireplace in the living room, and it's just a beautiful poster. So if you don't know Tom Whalen, I recommend you Google Tom Whalen art. You'll find him. He and Dave Perillo. You know Dave Perillo from the Lunchbox Bunch. They do a lot of work together. They do a lot of art shows together. But yeah, this is just fantastic. So this is in our living room. Most of the posters I'm going to show you are actual theatrical posters, whereas this was done by a friend of ours who's quite a successful freelance pop artist. So you can, like I said, Google his work. You'll find a ton of it. He's just fantastic. But there you go. Tom Whalen's Secret of the Sword, the He-Man She-Ra movie from 1985, I believe it was. And man, it's just a beautiful poster. Okay, it's not a movie poster, but I can't show you off a picture that my friend Tom Whalen did without showing you one by my good friend Mr. Dave Perillo. Dave Perillo did this one for the He-Man She-Ra Christmas special. This was the TV Christmas special, and this is hanging in our kitchen. It hangs year-round, not just at Christmas time, but the He-Man She-Ra Christmas special as done by Dave Perillo. And I will show you one more Dave Perillo that we have hanging in the kitchen before we look at some of the theatrical posters. Several years ago, Dave and Tom Whalen did an art show together in LA where they did travel posters. It was all travel posters from places in TV and movies. And Dave did this Wally World poster here. And I really like this one. So this also hangs in our kitchen. Not a movie poster in the traditional sense because it's not actually like a poster for the movie Vacation. It's a travel poster for Wally World. But I'd say that comes pretty close, right? So that hangs in our kitchen as well. So there's two of, there's some more Dave Perillo stuff. You can see behind me here, it says he did the Muppet Show. I got several Dave Perillo prints hanging in the kitchen. But the other two aren't movie related. This one is movie related, so this is the one I'm showing you now. I really love vintage posters. I love painted posters. Vintage posters are the best. And I've got this Forbidden Planet poster right when you walk in our door. When you walk in our door, this is one of the first things you see. And I love this poster. I'm crazy about this poster. Robbie the Robot is my all-time favorite screen robot. You know, years ago, the Chiller Theater Convention in Parsippany, New Jersey had Leslie Nielsen as a guest. And I considered going and getting Leslie Nielsen to sign this poster. I am kicking myself now because I didn't. I really wish I had gotten this signed by Leslie Nielsen. Alas, I did not. But what a beautiful poster. And like I said, it's hanging right when you walk in our front door. We are in my garage right now. The poster behind me, this is a poster I absolutely love. My wife hates it. That's why it's in the garage. She really hates it. This is the poster for Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1. This poster, I think it's a beautiful painted poster. I know there's a glare on it. I'm sorry. We're in the garage. It's the best I can do. This garage is kind of a mess. But this poster is actually signed by Wes Craven, Robert Englund, and Heather Langenkamp. Heather Langenkamp signed it over here. It says, "To Krazy Joe, whatever you do, don't fall asleep." Down here, Robert Englund signed it. It says, "Uncle Fred." And Wes Craven signed it right there. He just signed it to Krazy Joe. So there it is, signed Nightmare on Elm Street poster. I wish I could put this in more of a place of prominence, but my wife just hates it. She hates horror movies, so she does not want this in the house where she has to look at it. Someday, if I ever have like an office that's out of the house, like that I have to drive to work to go to my office, this will hang in my office. I've also got, you can't really see it because there's a fridge in front of it. There's an old Planet of the Apes poster here. The fridge is in front of it. My wife also did not care for that poster. Not for the same reasons. She doesn't like this because she hates horror movies. She just didn't think that was a very good poster. I disagree with her. I really like that poster, but she just thought it was kind of ugly. Again, I disagree, but she didn't want them in the house. So they're here in the garage. Right at the top of our stairs, we have this beautiful Rocketeer poster. Summer 1991. This poster is beautiful. It's a great movie. It's a great poster. We were looking for something to go on this wall, and we're looking through all the... I have a lot of posters that are not on display. They're in tubes. We're going through the tubes. We're saying, what can we put at the top of the stairs? And I was a big proponent of the Rocketeer, and my wife agreed. Hey, look at that. It's just a beautiful poster. Isn't that is just beautiful. So yeah, this is at the top of our stairs. Rocketeer. Great movie, great poster. Now, right next to it, anyone who knows my wife knows that she loves Wonder Woman. So she wanted, at the top of the stairs, a poster of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman and Linda Carter as Wonder Woman right next to each other. She wanted that. She said, can we get Gal Gadot and Linda Carter right next to each other? So there you have it. Gal Gadot and Linda Carter are right at the top of the stairs. This is obviously a poster for the the movie, I say 09, it wasn't 09. When did that movie come out? A couple of years ago. 2016? I don't know. The 2016 movie, that's what that poster's for. This is from the TV show, so obviously not a movie poster, but she wanted them side by side. Now we're going to walk just a little bit down the hall now. I hope glare isn't a problem. I hope we're not getting too much of a glare so you can't see them. But in the hall, this is the poster for the 1987 Masters of the Universe movie. This is a Drew Struzan poster of, Dolph Lundgren, Frank Langella. I love this movie. I grew up loving He-Man. This movie was a big deal to me in 1987. I know a lot of people love to trash this movie, but I will always have a great affinity for this movie, and this is a beautiful poster. This poster is signed by two of the cast members. It's signed by James Tolkan, who played Detective Lubbock in the movie, and most people probably know him as Principal Strickland from Back to the Future, but James Tolkan signed this, and it's also signed, where did he sign it? By, I'm missing it. Oh, right above, Robbie McNeil. Robbie McNeil, who played Kevin in the movie, and most people know him as Tom Paris from Star Trek Voyager. So Robbie McNeil and James Tolkan signed this. I had an opportunity to have Dolph Lundgren sign it. He was at a convention near me. It happened the same month that I was laid off from my job last year. So unfortunately, due to my layoff, I couldn't go to the con. I'm sincerely hoping Dolph Lundgren comes back around this way again soon, because I really want Dolph Lundgren to sign this. That killed me that he was here on exactly the wrong month. But anyway, now, generally speaking, I'm a fan of painted posters like this one. Photoshop posters aren't really my thing. However, this one is one of my favorite movies. This is the movie Free Enterprise, and I got this poster from Robert Meyer Burnett, the director of the movie. He signed it. He wrote, "Joe, in every revolution, there is one man with a vision, James T. Kirk." Robert Meyer Burnett. If you haven't seen the movie Free Enterprise, it is just the ultimate geek movie. I can't recommend this movie enough. So it's signed by Robert Meyer Burnett. It's also signed by William Shatner. I got this signed by William Shatner at a Philadelphia Comic-Con. And it's also signed by, down here, Phil Lamar. Phil Lamar is in the movie, the cartoon voiceover actor. Most of you know him as a cartoon voiceover actor. He is in the movie. Only one man in the universe can get them on the right track. It's like the nerd version of Swingers. Love long and party. I love this movie. I felt when I first saw this movie like it was telling the story of my life. I started watching this movie, and I stopped the movie. I called Dave Perillo. Came out in 98. I called Dave Perillo. I said, "Hey, I'm bringing a movie over. You guys see this." I stopped the movie, went over to his house. We watched it. I said, "This is like our life story. I feel like someone followed us on a Saturday and was taking notes." because that's how much like Dave and I these characters were acting. I love this movie. And over here, we are getting a glare on this one. I'm sorry. Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back. Let me see if I can get rid of that glare. That's a little better. That's a little better. I love this Empire Strikes Back poster. This is obviously not the main theatrical poster that you usually see by Drew Struzan. I don't remember the name of the artist. This was done by a Japanese artist. But this is one of my favorite Empire Strikes Back posters. In fact, it might be my favorite Empire Strikes Back poster. I might like this better than the Struzan poster. Obviously, I have it on display. I don't have the Struzan poster on display. So that tells you something. I do own the Struzan poster, though. It's rolled up in the garage in a poster tube. But I just love this poster. Let me see if I can get a close-up of it for you. Again, we're getting some glare. But man, look how beautiful this poster is. Look at that. It's just great. That is... I love this poster. This might be the best Star Wars poster ever made, if you ask me. Personally, you know, tastes are subjective, but this is probably my favorite poster of any Star Wars poster. One final stop. We are in my bedroom where I have the posters. These are mini posters for all three Back to the Future movies hanging side by side. There is the Part 1 poster. It is signed by Claudia Wells and Christopher Lloyd. There's the Part 2 poster, and there's the Part 3 poster. The Back to the Future trilogy are my three favorite movies of all time, and the posters for all three are hanging in my bedroom above my dresser. I'm not going to pan down because the dresser's a little bit messy right now, but they're hanging there, and right above them is this Marty McFly that was done by my friend Ian Globinger, who is another very good pop culture artist, freelance artist. Google Ian Globinger to see more of his work. But that hangs right above my Back to the Future posters. As we head down the basement, hanging along the stairs of the basement, is this, another Masters of the Universe poster done by Mr. Tom Whalen, my friend who did the Secret of the Sword poster. He did this one years prior, and this one is a poster for an imaginary He-Man movie. He kind of casts the He-Man movie he would like to see. As you can see, Arnold Schwarzenegger as He-Man, Tim Curry as Skeletor, Kevin Peter Hall as Beastman, Grace Jones as Evil Lynn, Kurtwood Smith as Merman. Obviously, this is not a real movie. This is Tom Whalen's fantasy Masters of the Universe movie, and one that, quite frankly, I'd be more than happy to watch if it were a reality. But this poster hangs on the way to the basement. Now, these are not movie posters, but, well, these are from the USA Today on October 22nd, 2015. And this is a recreation of the newspaper from Back to the Future 2 from October 22nd, 2015. On October 22nd, 2015, in reality, they actually made this the front page of their paper to acknowledge Back to the Future Day. And I framed it. And inside was an ad for Jaws 19, the startling sequel to Jaws 18. This time it's really, really personal. Best Jaws sequel of the year. So I framed both of those, and they are hanging in the basement. Coming over towards the space bar, which you all know so well, is this poster for the Monkees movie, Head. This is a mini poster for the movie Head, their one and only feature film. And it is signed by 3 of the 4 Monkees. I had an opportunity to get Davy Jones to sign this, and I passed because, well, he was going to be at another convention several months later, and I said, well, I'll get him when he's in Philadelphia. This was a mistake because he died several months later. If I had not have been stupid, this would be signed by all 4 Monkees, but I was dumb, and it's not. It's signed, though, by Peter Tork, Mickey Dolenz, and Michael Nesmith. So 3 of the 4 monkeys have signed that poster. Also going back behind the space bar, I think I've shown this off in some of my videos before, but here is a poster for the movie Serenity. And it has been signed by several members of the cast, including Jewel Staite, Adam Baldwin, Alan Tudyk, and the late Ron Glass. Right outside the space bar is this canvas picture recreating the original Star Wars poster, or one of the original Star Wars posters. This is, like I said, a canvas picture that I picked up at Kohl's. It was on clearance, and I was like, well, why wouldn't I want to own that, especially at this price? So it is now hanging in our basement. What you see behind me is a controversial poster. This was one of the teaser posters for the movie Solo. These posters were very, very visually stunning. They just popped. These posters just popped with the name and the picture inside of them. These were wonderful posters. It later came out they were plagiarized. They were plagiarized. That's unfortunate. Doesn't make the poster any less beautiful. But it's not good that these were plagiarized. And I didn't pay for this. I got this poster for free from Disney Movie Rewards. So it didn't cost me a cent. It's not like I spent money and supported them plagiarizing the original artist. I took the freebie and framed it. I don't know. Maybe that's still controversial. Maybe I shouldn't have even done that. But there's no denying it is a beautiful, beautiful poster. I also have the one for Kira, Emilia Clarke's character, because my daughter's name is Kira. It's not spelled the same, but I'm like, how can I not have the one for Kira when my daughter is Kira? And then I have, of course, the final one-shot poster, the theatrical poster for Solo. I also got that from Disney Movie Rewards. But this was my favorite of the bunch, and that's the one I hung up. Over here we have Once Upon a Deadpool. I love this poster. I love this poster that has Deadpool and Fred Savage riding on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This movie obviously came out around Christmas time. This was the PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2, and I do believe that this is actually the best cut of Deadpool 2. It's funnier than the R-rated cut, and it's actually more inappropriate than the R-rated cut, because where they cut F words, they put in beeps. And as a result, one of the ongoing jokes in the movie is that Deadpool keeps beeping things that shouldn't be beeped, which just it makes them sound dirtier than they actually are. So this ends up becoming an even more inappropriate version of the movie. I love Once Upon a Deadpool, and I really, really love the poster. Like I said, I love painted posters. And this is one of the rare modern films to get a painted poster. Now, next to it, just as I'm done talking about how much I love painted posters, this is not a painted poster. I have the teaser from Captain Marvel. Again, we're getting a glare. I'm sorry we're getting a glare. Higher, further, faster. I loved this movie. Again, this poster was a freebie. I got it from Disney Movie Rewards. And while I, generally speaking, don't care for modern posters, I'm more of a fan of the old school painted posters. I just thought this was a pretty nice looking poster. Actually, this teaser poster is nicer than the final theatrical poster. The final theatrical poster, I don't think looks as good as this teaser. But again, this was a freebie from Disney Movie Rewards, so we hung it up, and I think it's pretty nice. And last but not least is my pride and joy. It is the movie rating system poster. This poster originally came out in the 1980s. I've always had an affinity for this poster, and I had a hard time getting it. I eventually had to write to the National Association of Theater Owners just to get a copy. Poster dealers never carry this poster, and I love it. It tells you the ratings, what each rating means, and it's got little cartoons to go along with it. I find it hilarious. Dave Perillo and I used to check this out at the movies all the time, and we used to laugh at the different cartoons. And I'll show you why. All right, here's G-rated. We got a kid in a top hat, a rabbit, a man and wife, a little girl. There's a giraffe there. Look at all those people going to see the G-rated movie. All right, now we get PG. This blue-haired lady shows up. The rabbit's still there. The little girl's having her face covered. And now we get this creepy teen with the boombox. He better not be playing that boombox in the movies. All right, let's get to PG-13. Now the little girl's covering the rabbit's eyes. The rabbit is not allowed to see what's happening in the PG-13 movie. But what's this? Pee Wee Herman has shown up. Pee Wee Herman is going to the PG-13 movie. Let's get to R. We get this creepy couple. Look at the face the woman's making. She is not happy to be on a date with this guy. And this guy obviously thinks this date's going better than she is. Look, he's so happy, and she just looks distraught by the whole thing. This couple is there. I think it's the same couple, but they're dressed differently. I think it's this guy again, but now he's dressed a little more businesslike. And then we got this woman who's bringing her kid, and she does not care that this movie's rated R. She's going to let her kid see this movie, despite the fact it's completely inappropriate. All right, now we get down to NC-17. Now look at this. The rabbit is back. The rabbit is back, but now he's wearing sunglasses, so no one will recognize him. This couple's still there. And we got this one creepy dude coming to see the NC-17 movie all alone. Look at him. Look at him. He's up to no good. You know, in a way, it should be flip-flop. This guy should be on the PG-13, and this is the guy who should be sneaking into the NC-17. That's the guy we expect to see in the NC-17, not him. But in any event, I love this poster. So that's it. I really hope you enjoyed this tour of my movie posters. I love movie posters, and I figured it was something different I could show you guys for a change. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Like I said, these posters are only a fraction of the posters I own. There's not enough wall space to hang up all the posters I own, so a lot of them are still, unfortunately, in poster tubes in the garage. I always hope that someday maybe we'll have a much bigger house. Some more of these can go up. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll just rotate them. Maybe we'll take these all down, put all new movie posters up, and these will go in tubes, and you just rotate. Who knows? There's possibilities. But this is what we got hanging now. What do you think? What are your favorite movie posters? That's what I'd like to know. Tell me what your favorite movie posters are. Write it down below, and keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.